Okay, cybersecurity video number 3. Now, we talked about lab environments in the last video. Now I want to talk about a virtual environment. So virtualization is the ability to install other operating systems on top of your operating system. That's putting it very simply. If there's any virtualization experts out there, I apologize for that definition because that's really not a good one. But for those that don't understand what virtualization is, that's basically what it is. So an OS, an operating system, is like Windows. When you look at your computer, you see Windows, you see a version of Windows. Like right now, I think Windows 11 is the latest. I don't use Windows. I hate Windows. I use Linux Fedora, which is made by Red Hat. That's my go-to operating system. It's a personal preference, you know, whatever you want to use. But the only Windows computer that is in my household is the one I have for work, and that's because they make me use Windows. Other than that, I either have Mac or I have all Linux computers, even the workstations. Anyway, so first thing you need to consider if you're going to use virtualization software is to be effective, you need a computer that has a lot of hard drive space because each virtual machine that you run on it takes up space, okay? A lot of space. So you need free hard drive space. So I recommend a terabyte or 2 at least. The other thing is you need extra memory. Most computers and laptops you buy today come with like 8 to 16 gigabytes of RAM in them, and 8 is not enough. 16, you can run 1 or 2 virtual machines on there, but you know, that's about it. I recommend getting 64 gig or if you can 128 gig of RAM on that computer, and then you can run a large network of virtual machines. Now, virtual machine software. To run a virtual machine, you need either VirtualBox or there are multiple kinds. I recommend either VirtualBox or VMware Workstation. Those two are free now. VMware Workstation's become a little bit harder to find. You just got to dig for it on Broadcom's website. VirtualBox is easier to find and download, but I find VMware easier to use. Okay, I still use VMware Workstation for various things, but you can install it on your computer, the one that has the extra hard drive space and extra RAM, and then at that point, again, you have to get a hold of operating systems, whether it's an eval version of Windows or whatever Linux version you want to try. Like I mentioned in the physical lab video, you can download Ubuntu, you can download Fedora, you can download an eval version of Windows Server. The cool thing about Windows Server eval versions in a virtualization lab is that they don't run out of time. So Linux or the Windows operating system, at least they have it in mind, when I configure them as even the eval versions, when I boot up a Windows Server eval version in a VM on my laptop, it somehow knows it's in a VM in a lab environment, and I've been able to play with them. I've had a couple of them running for 2 years, and they've never ran out of time, which is pretty cool. But it knows it's in a lab environment, right? So again, you play with it, you learn how to use it. All those services that I mentioned before, SMTP, FTP, OpenSSH, a cert authority. Again, a cert authority, learning how certificates work is that can get you a job itself. All those things go into it, and so that's a virtualization lab. Okay,